That was missing. So.
Speaking. Someone sitting there speaking.
Yeah, the whole format. Everyone was talking about us, but I realized that that was missing for me. So. I mean, if I wanted to, I don't jump up, tap somebody out and goes, listen, I'm a broadcast man, and all this, it doesn't affect me anyway. I don't believe in it. There's a lot of bullshit. I need to worry about how I'm going to buy fish tomorrow. Price of plantain going up.
Well, again, that's really important, and the character within the play has to represent what you're talking about. So that will be there. What about the questions that we didn't hear? People who had some questions that they wrote. Do you want to share them? You don't have to. Are there anything that you want to share?
If you share them, I'll take them down.
Yeah. Are there anything people want to add in?
There was one that I was going to follow up on. Would you vote for Sadiq Khan in the next mayor election?
Would you vote for Sadiq Khan in the next mayor election? As a question our play asks the audience.
Are we allowed to do that?
Are we allowed to do that? Hell yeah.
Why can't we do that? Even at the mayoral performance. Even at the potential mayoral.
Why shouldn't we?
Are we not performing for him in later in the year as well?
Yeah, in November. In November at his office for international men's day. Any other questions that didn't get asked that people want to share? You don't have to, but I just want to provide this spot.
For me, the biggest dramatic question is the climate scepticism. So I think that's where the main drama is between those who agree with climate because they think it's the end of the world, and those who don't because they think it's an manipulation. And then the second question after that would be is, if you believe in it, or if we come to a conclusion that there is a climate catastrophe coming, are we going to give up our rights? Are we going to pay £12.50? Are we going to stop eating this or travelling or doing all these things? Because this, if it is as important as people say it is, that we need to give up everything then. If it's the end of the world.
I think there's a third point, which is we could just vote for different, we could vote Green Party potentially. Do you know what I mean? Because it's an opportunity. We don't have to give up our rights.
But is that going to, if it's a catastrophe, is that going to do anything?
Well, yeah, because we know policy, sorry, so. No problem.
I just want to hear if there's any questions that people wrote down that we want to voice. I just want to provide that. If there's not, then we can move on. But if
I've got questions. How can we replace consumerism?
In regards to climate change?
Yeah, one of the pieces of research that we turned up was the idea that people are, because things are, the environment's heating up, people are buying more air conditioners, and of course that just pushes up the temperature. So it's a vicious circle.
Okay.
So at what point do we turn around and say, actually, this system isn't working for us, this endless consumerism? And
that's an important
I think
It's technology.
No, I was going to say.
So one voice, please. One voice. Thank you.
I was going to say that's very important. But as they are building more, heaters, fans, etc., they're also making them less powerful in wattage. So
they mash up quickly and you buy the next one quick.
Well, yes and no.
That's consumerism.
Well, yes and no. There are smaller ones that give out more cool air. There are small heaters that you keep on for half an hour as opposed to a couple hours or whatnot, and it does more heat. It heats up the room within 100 yards or whatever. So there are many things on the market that people need to maybe look into.
Which is consumerism.
Yeah, consumerism. But at the same time, the point that you're making is that they're making more of these things for the climate to actually go warmer. But really and truly, there are products out there. There are little devices or whatnot that could bring it down if you're using it less, and they have less wattage.
Okay, and who can afford them? Right, moving on. Time got here, and then two. You've got one, and you've got two.
I'll try and be quick because I think it's relevant to what you're saying here. I think another question is can we accept the idea of living in a society where growth isn't the object? Because I think economic growth is built on extracting resources, and that's what's just going to have a deleterious effect on the environment. So consumerism, I think, is based on the idea of infinite growth or infinite economic
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing in terms of consumerism is like the fuel of capitalism, and without consumerism, you know, capitalism falls apart. So, and we would need socialism. We would need some sort of new system, which I don't think any of the people that are talking about climate change are advocating for, at least the powerful voices. So the fact that those two things are not connected, I think shows that they're not actually serious about this.
Well, I'm going to buy a new iPhone in September. So.
You're the problem.
You said.
No, that was a big thing for me that, you know, I'm seeing as technology is growing, it's affecting, you know, the issue with climate issue. You know, like back in the days, you know, we had like you didn't need all this kind of stuff. It was not such big issues. But coming to the stuff with I'm not coming on holiday. I'm just saying the stuff with the fans, and yeah, it's all good for people who are living in good homes. People like myself who actually live in a home where the house association wouldn't even insulate the house properly, we couldn't run that fan for half an hour. We have to run it for about 2 hours. You know what I'm saying? So again, it goes up to class, poverty, you know, stuff like that.
Okay, so I'm just trying to wrap up. Going once, going twice. About any final questions that we haven't heard? Want to voice them?
I would like to throw in one more.
Is it a question?
Yeah.
Yeah, please.
So
Make it quick.
you said there was a third point. Is there a third point? Third point. So this is just out there.
It needs to be a question.
Yeah, this question is out there. So when it comes to science and all that stuff, that's one-sided. What happened to, you know, beliefs in religion? So where it talks in many religions, in the future, this will happen. The sun would turn
Prophecy.
Yeah. So is it that you're just going to be, okay, my religion doesn't matter, and we're going to just deviate to science to dictate everything what's going to happen when it's already been written 2,000 years ago, 3,000 years plus? So, you know, people are just looking on the, you know, on your little iPhone, as you said, or on the TV or whatever, and really and truly it's been written from many millennia. So
Okay.
That reminds me of Wayne's character.
Yes.
Like in the Ark.
Yep.
So indigenous people, you know, from time immemorial have been demonstrating a science where they know how to live sustainably. They've been talking about, if you like, prophecies as well. So their spiritual, if you like, knowledge, their practical knowledge is something which I believe could enable us to support planning to live sustainably. But also my question is essentially, are there no, and I think we need one, a politician, are there no politicians we can trust?
Good question. Are there no politicians we can trust?
No.
We need to wrap up.
Yes, sir. No, because you brought up a good point. It needs something to do, at least someone there who's probably maybe a fanatic, I don't know. Because I was thinking, my father, who's a devoted Muslim, every time these things comes up, he always says, yeah, but as Muslims, we know this. It's written.
it's written.
Look in the book of the Quran. It's supposed to happen. And we wouldn't think to do anything for it.
Okay.
But why you say fanatic?
Okay. Check.
Just on the back of what Tiala, I think, was saying, why don't more people vote for the Green Party?
And that's something.
Why don't more
And that's
people,
something
or more people, or more black people